It was the return of Double Vision Sunday, giving players 2 shots at every Sunday major. The kickoff, the storm, the warm-up, the million, whatever your poison may be. Well, this is Sunday Million number 2. 5,671 runners started this tournament, and we are down to our final 9. Our chip leader, Kyle Julius, 10. You might recognize him because the last time we saw Kyle Julius, he was heads up in the PCA main event, bluff shoving his unimproved 9 high into a rivered flush. Well, he couldn't win that one, but he did earn himself well over $1 million for his efforts. Can he close the deal here? Wei Gang, also known as Timothy English, raises, makes it 2x, and when I say 2x, I mean 2 times the big blind. Timothy English, by the way, has won the Sunday 500 for $93,000. He finished 4th in the Million back in April, and he also made a deep run in Sunday Million number 1, finishing in 114th place. Over to Kyle Julius in the big blind, and he's going to call. King, Queen, Deuce, Rainbow. See that Wei Gang very much in the lead. Check from Julius. Over to English. 2 very experienced poker players battling it out on the felt. And Wei Gang is going to bet a little bit less than half the pot. I would assume Julius is going to at least call this, and that's what he does. Turns a 10. Both players pick up a gut shot. Wei Gang could check this back. And he does check it back. A little bit of pot control. Possibly induce a bluff. Or maybe even get value from worse. But how about that on the river? Kyle Julius spikes trips. And not worrying about what happened on the river there. I actually like the check back from Wei Gang. And Kyle Julius bets $1.2 million. And Wei Gang gives it up. Wow, what a laydown. What a laydown. You want to know how somebody wins the Sunday 500, finishes 4th in the Million back in April, and also makes a deep run in Sunday Million number 1? It's making laydowns like that. Wow. Wei Gang. I know to a lot of experienced players, you're thinking, well, so what? Big deal. Standard. A lot of inexperienced players are watching that going, wow. How did he make that laydown? Kyle Julius with the 10s. Blinds now 125,000, 250,000. And Julius makes it 2x. Don't Stake Me from Canada. He's going to shove nearly 2 million chips in there. Kyle Julius is going to call this every day of the week. It's only another 1.5 back to him. He's getting about 2 to 1. Easy call. He makes the call. And it's ace-queen against 10s. These are the races you have to win if you want to win a tournament. Kyle Julius in the lead right now with pocket 10s and still in the lead after a 7-6-6 flop. Don't Stake Me's tournament life on the line. Needs an ace or a queen on the river. And that is a king. That is neither an ace or a queen. And Don't Stake Me from Toronto, gone in 9th place, earns himself just over $9,000. 8 players remain. Of the 8 remaining players, we have 8 different countries represented. Kyle Julius, our chip leader, staying aggressive. Don't Stake Me, by the way, has runner-up the Sunday second chance. Seems like all of these players have some poker accomplishment on their resume. P.S. New Reg. Going to shove all in with pocket tens. Pretty sure Kyle Julius is going to call this one too. It's another 1.5 million back to him. And once again, he's getting 2-1. But this time it's reversed. His tens were able to beat the ace-queen, but now can he win with ace-queen against tens? Queen 5-4. It's almost unfair. Kyle Julius already a phenomenal player, but he's winning with tens against ace-queen, and now he's winning with ace-queen against tens. It's going your way, Kyle Julius, and he is now up to well over 20 million chips. P.S. Newreg gone to 8th place. He's from the Russian Federation, earns himself over $14,000. Blind still 125,000, 250,000. 260. The UK native calls London his home. You might recognize him, and that's because he's a W Coupe bracelet winner. Won the 320 No Limit Hold'em 6 Max event back in 2010. Has also won the Sunday warm-up, and has final tabled the Sunday Million before. And this time, he's going to let his chips do the talking. He makes it 2x. Padres is all in for 3.9 million. What do you do if you're Kyle Julius with ace-queen? Padres, by the way, has several huge scores on Stars, including a final table of a Scoop High event and a runner-up in the Sunday 500. And Kyle Julius is all in. Now, obviously, Julius, our chip leader, is not at risk. Action folds around back to 260. I don't think he's going to make this call with King-Jack. He's going to let that one go, and it's pocket jacks against ace-queen. Can Kyle Julius win another race? Well, needs help on this one. 10-8-7 rainbow. 5 of diamonds on the turn. Needs an ace or a queen to eliminate Padres. Not going to happen, and Padres doubles up to over 9 million chips. Let's jump ahead to hand 26. Padres from the Netherlands. Not going to play the King-Jack. Kyle Julius going to stay aggressive. A VW Borat 18 with the nice gap-suited connector. Unfortunately, he's just not deep enough to play that kind of hand. Action folds around to Kinnaman. Kinnaman, by the way, final table the Sunday warm-up back in November. Over to 260. I can't imagine him folding this. Really just a question of does he raise or just call? He decides to call. Pot is 1.3 million. Queen 7-3. And both players get a piece. 260. Will in the lead, though, with top pair. Have to assume he's going to go for the check raise. He knows with a board like that Kyle Julius is almost always going to continuation bet. So why not go for the check raise? And there is the continuation bet. Small, 390,000. Tiny little bet. Almost inducing a bluff. It's almost begging you to bluff at it. But in this case, 260 actually has a hand. Such an intriguing matchup. Some big-time players at this final table. This is the part of the job I love. There's the check raise from 260. And it's 710,000 back over to Julius. He's getting about 4-1. Does he want to call here and go for his 2 pair of trips? Well, he's going to make the call. He also has backdoor clubs. A lot of those outs are dead now. 260 with 2 pair, top 2. And Kyle Julius with just a pair of 3s. Has 2 outs with 1 card to come. And 260 is going to check this one. Check raising the flop and then checking the turn is indicative of weakness. And 260 is going to try to take that line and make it look like he's weak. Not sure if Julius is going to fall for it, though. Yeah, he is. He's going to shove all in. And 260 got exactly what he wanted. He makes the call. Pot is 9 million chips. Only a 3 on the river will eliminate 260. 6 of hearts. Well played. 260 up over 9 million. Kyle Julius down to 14.4 million. He's still our chip leader, but that was a big hit to his stack. Well, if you want to play in this tournament for free, we'll give you that opportunity. That's right. But you're going to need the password, and that's coming later.
We are competition. Aggression. Calculating. We are trapped. Fighting back. We are heroes. We are poker.
Welcome back to the Sunday Million Highlights Show. I'm David Tuckman. Hope you're enjoying it. 7 players remain. 7 different countries represented. Kyle Julius, currently living in Canada with the chip lead at 14.7. And once again, if you're just joining us and you don't know who Kyle Julius is, he was heads up in the PCA main event. Finished runner-up there. Earned himself well over $1 million. Kinnaman 8. Gonna pass. 260 now. With a few more chips. Not going to play. Pages on the button with pocket aces. He's going to raise. Julius is going to pass. Way Gang, though. Possibly going to make a move here. Remember, it's a highlight show. We don't usually show you a hand unless something happens. And there it is. There's the 3-bet from Way Gang. Does not give Pages credit for a hand on the button. And if you're an aggressive player, if you open a lot of pots, you'll love picking up big hands on the button. Pages is going to call. Set a little bit of a trap. King 8 deuce. Nothing there for Way Gang at all. Once again, that is Timothy English. Have to imagine he'll put a continuation bet out there, especially on a board like this. Relatively dry board. He bets 1.2 million. And if you're Pages, you can probably afford to just call this. And he does just call. Give his opponent a little bit of rope. Let him hang himself. 5 of spades. Way Gang, now drawing dead, cannot win this pot unless somehow he gets Pages to fold. There's the check. And you imagine he's given up over to Pages. Maybe a 1.7 million chip bet. Okay, 1.47 million. Back over to Way Gang. And I can't imagine Timothy English continuing on, and he doesn't. His cards go in the muck, or the virtual muck, I should say. And Padres now up to over 12 million chips. Engelberth in the big blind. Blinds right now 150,000, 300,000. Engelberth, by the way, former winner of the Super Tuesday. Julius in the cutoff seat. Not going to play. He's going to pick a better spot. Way Gang, though, with pocket tens. He's not going to pick a better spot. He's going to pick this spot. He makes it 2x. And VW Borat is all in. And you can't really blame him. I don't hate this play at all. Unfortunately for him, it's not going to work out. But you got to figure you've got some fold equity here. And if you get called, you probably have live cards. Unfortunately for VW Borat, Way Gang has got the overpair. Well, it's not a bad flop if you're going to shove with 9-8 of clubs. He's got a flush draw. A club and only a club on the river. Queen of Diamonds not going to do it for him. And VW Borat from Lithuania is gone in 7th place. Takes home $25,500. Hand 44. 260 raises under the gun with the ace-jack suited. Padres probably going to 3-bet this. We've seen some really aggressive play from 260, Padres, and Kyle Julius. Padres decides just to call. Maybe respecting that under the gun raise. That might bring in Kinnaman. Engelberth can't play this. He knows he has no fold equity. But Kinnaman's a little bit deeper. Might think he's got some fold equity. Not going to squeeze there. He also respects the under the gun raise. Ace, Queen, 7. And 260 could be in trouble. Padres with top 2. 260 with top pair. Action on 260. Once again, he is from London. Has a very impressive poker resume. Bets just under 1 million chips. And over to Padres. And if you're Padres, do you raise right here? I think you have to. No, he doesn't. Wow. I would have thought you'd raise here. Maybe make it look like you've got some sort of a draw. A flush draw, maybe a straight draw, flush draw combo. King of Hearts on the turn. And that might kill Padres' action. Obviously, he's a big favorite, 260. Needs a 10 to make Broadway. There are times to slow play. There are times to trap. I'm just not sure if Padres raises there if 260 isn't going all in. 1.25 million from Padres. Back over to 260. And I'm curious what you think. How would you play Padres' hand on the flop? Would you raise or would you just call? You can always tweet me and let me know what you think. And 260 is going to let that one go. I think maybe the smooth call scared him. Nevertheless, we've seen two fairly impressive laydowns. Blinds 200,000, 400,000. Kyle Julius on the button. Have to imagine he's probably going to raise here. Very aggressive player. Way Gang. With the Jack-8 suited. Does he want to get involved? Well, he's not going to get involved, but I do believe Engelberth is going to shove all in. I like it. Generally speaking, I don't like calling off my chips with king 10. But in this case, when you're only six-handed and you get a button raise, I think you're good. More often than not, well, not good anymore. Top 2 for Kyle Julius. Top pair for Engelberth. And Engelberth needs help on the river. Well, that's not going to do it. Pour some salt on that wound. Engelberth gone in 6th place. The Venezuelan earns himself $36,861. Kyle Julius, a one-man wrecking crew, eliminating player after player. Now up to 17.1 million chips. Battle of the Blinds. There are a few things in poker that intrigue me more than when the blinds battle it out. It just seems like players get their ego involved when it's a battle of the blinds. They just always assume their opponent must have nothing. A raise from 260. I mean, in this particular instance, Pages, king 8 offsuit, nothing really special. I mean, if there was a raise from middle position, you'd imagine Pages would just fold. But because the raise comes from the small blind, Pages just immediately assumes that 260 doesn't have a hand, and he 3-bets. And obviously there's reason for that. And the reason's very warranted. But it's still very intriguing to me. Back over to 260. And he is going to 4-bet this. And I swear I haven't seen this hand before. This is the first time I'm seeing it. It's as live. We get a raise, a 3-bet, and a 4-bet, and the hands are correct. Jack 9 versus King 8. And it's just blind versus blind. Neither player giving the other one credit for a real hand. And you got to be impressed by 260's game.
We are 10,000 people in Brazil, holding our breath. We are alone. Hunters. Hunted. We are committed. Blessed. Calm. We are all in. We are poker.
Welcome back, and if you were waiting for the password, here it is. It's Melbourne, February 16th, 2012, the online poker show free roll. If you want to play in the Sunday Million for free, that's the way to do it. 5 players remain in this one. Kyle Julius on top of the leaderboard, 260. Behind him with 12.5 million. Kinnaman 8, our short stack with just over 4 million chips. Hand 65. Blinds now 250,000, 500,000. Way Gang. Timothy English, very successful player. Raised the 2x with ace-king, and this could be trouble for 260. We talked about that blind versus blind dynamic. Well, the button versus blind dynamic, very similar. Could easily see a 3-bet here, a 4-bet, and a call. Would not shock me at all. Yes, I didn't actually mean that lame rhyme, but it came out, and I wasn't going to say anything. 260, there's the 3-bet. Way Gang with the 4-bet. There's the 4-bet all in, and I think if you're 260, I don't think you were 3-betting to fold the hand. He does make the call. Ace-King versus Ace-Queen. It is Way Gang's tournament life on the line. needs to avoid the queen. A 4 would chop it up. A 3 as well. But not the 5. The 5 of hearts on the river, and Wei Gang, now our chip leader, up over 21 million chips. 260, crippled, down below 1.6 million. He's got 3 big blinds. And he's got a pocket pair on the button. Oh, it's almost unfair. It's an easy shove for him. And take a look at the hands behind. Well, the interesting thing is, though, when he shoves, Padres might shove over the top. There it is, the shove from Padres over the top. And Kyle Julius, what a great time to pick up pocket kings. Could we have a double elimination? Kyle Julius, 55% of the time, will defeat both these players. 10, 5, 8. Pair of 8s for Padres. Not enough, though. Needs more. Needs an 8 or an ace to survive. It's the 7 of hearts and 260, and Padres are both gone. 260 started the hand with less chips, so he finishes in 5th place. Earns himself $48,203. Padres gone in 4th place. The Dutchman takes home $64,000, and 3 players remain. Kinnaman going to shove all in. Kyle Julius with Queen 10 is going to make the call. And can Kyle Julius eliminate another player? It's looking good for him. Queen 7-3, 2 diamonds out there. And that is going to do it. Kinnaman drawing dead, cannot win this hand. He will be gone in 3rd place. He's from Israel, earns himself just shy of 100K. Heads up action. Oh, and it doesn't get much better than this. Kyle Julius against Timothy English. Hand 77. Timothy English, about a 3-2 chip advantage. 5-3 deuce, 2 spades out there, and Wei Gang, Timothy English has flopped the wheel. Just to remind you, Kyle Julius, he finished runner-up in the PCA main event. Never a bride, always a bridesmaid. Can he win this one today, though? Can he close the deal? There's the bet from Timothy English. Julius makes the call. Needs running cards. Deuce of diamonds is not going to help him. And if you're Wei Gang, time to build this pot up. $2.88 million from English. And Julius makes the call. This pot, 9.57 million chips. Another deuce. And now English can't beat a pair. If Julius had a pair in his hand, or even a 5 or a 3, English can't beat that. This one could go check, check. And it does go check, check. English wins the pot up to nearly 40 million chips. Julius down to 17 million. We're going to jump ahead to hand 83. Julius claws his way back a little bit. A raise from English. Julius with the 3s. There's the 3 bet. I imagine English will call this. English, by the way, from Australia. Julius, currently living in Vancouver, Canada. 8-4 deuce. Julius still in the lead with threes. He's going to check. Hope you're enjoying this. We started today's action with 5,671 players in Sunday Million 2, and we are down to our final two. 9 of clubs on the turn. It went check, check, and English has now picked up top pair. What a matchup. Julius versus English. There's the bet from Julius, 1.84 million. He's going to try to take this one down. Back over to Weigang. And Weigang is going to raise. I thought he might just call this, but he is going to raise. And Julius has got to be scratching his head. I went check, check on the flop. Now I lead out and my opponent raises me. And that's going to force Julius to make the call. Oh, wow. And the river's a 3 of spades. What a river. Do you go for the check raise on the river? That's exactly what Julius is going to do. He figures his opponent either has a pretty big hand or nothing at all. Why not let him bet it and then check raise him all in? Well, he's not going to have to worry about it. Weigang shoves it all in, 29 million. Julius can't wait to get his chips in the pot. And how quickly the tables have turned. Kyle Julius with over 40 million. Timothy English with under 15 million. We're going to jump ahead a few hands. Hand 110. Julius on the button with King Jack. English with 5s. He's going to shove all in. Julius is going to make the call. He's not folding King Jack. Or is he? Nope. He's going to make the call. This pot, 25.6 million chips. And it's Weigang at risk. 9-9-4. Nothing there for Julius yet. Another 4. Julius needs a king or a jack on the river. And there it is! The king of diamonds on the river. And Kyle Julius is going to win it. But before we talk about Kyle Julius, let's give a lot of credit to Timothy English. He won the Sunday 500 last June. He finished 4th in the Million back in April. He also made a deep run in Sunday Million number 1. He earns himself $132,000. But let's talk about our champion, Kyle Julius 10. Takes home $177,000. Like I said, the last time we saw him, he was heads up in the PCA main event, bluff shoving his unimproved 9-high into a rivered flush. But this time, he closes the deal, he finishes the job, and he takes home the Sunday Million title. Until next time, I'm David Tuckman. Reach for the stars.